Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, November 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. Now, if we're born on the cusp, not on the cusp, if we're born with Virgo within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully at our root, but also if we have Virgos within our lives. And the same thing for Taurus. This is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So if we have Taurians within our lives or within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully here at our root. We have the Five of Pentacles, which is poverty mentality, and we have the King of Pentacles. Now, there can be a poverty mentality in our lives around a Taurus energy or a Virgo energy, but there is also this sense of having a bit of a battle between wealth and financial hardship. It's like, I know I'm supposed to be at a different place than I am, or this evolution of ourselves going from struggle to prosperity. It moves us to our emotional selves, which is the Two of Swords and the King of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And if we have water sign energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully here in our heart, just like the King of Pentacles is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, which is coming through very powerfully here in our emotionals, in our inner selves. Then we have the Nine of Cups, which is good fortune. It's things coming together. It's being in the moment. And we have Judgment. It's coming out of a box, coming out of feeling confined. Now let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading, oh goodness, and show me clearly. So we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. What we have to be mindful of during this time especially is letting our emotions run away with us and letting us really be impacted by people who are letting their emotions get the better of them. And this could be a person who's usually very kind of down to earth, very kind of focused and single-minded, but their emotions can get the best of them at this time. But this is also going to be just a sense of we're going to be very drawn to these people. We're going to be very drawn to these people who are more kind of emotionally inclined during this time. And we have to be mindful of that because we will find it draining over time. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is universal light. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is the light that is just shining within us and around us. There's a certain sort of, there's something to us during this time. There's like a certain sort of spark, a certain sort of beauty that's really shining forward, and we need to embrace it. Now, this is an astrology and a tarot reading, so we're going to talk about the astrological aspects of this time and their correlation to the tarot, but also how everything is playing together. So on the 16th of November, the sun is going to be sextile Pluto, which brings it with it this magnetic attraction to everything that we need, to what we need, and can make us astoundingly charming. We're going to find that there's just a beauty to us during this time. This is a great time if we want to go out on dates, if we want to meet up with friends. This is a time to really let ourselves shine. We are also astoundingly driven and can feel almost unstoppable. So this is also a great time for work and for goals and for achievement. On the 17th of November, we have Mars opposite Uranus. Now, Uranus is important because Aquarius, we are ruled by Uranus, and this brings with it an unexpected and unpredictable energy that has us inclined towards risk taking. We're going to be excited. We're going to be, wanting to rush forward. And what this does is that it's rocking our foundation. And because we have so much earth sign energy here at this time, especially at our root, we have just earth sign energy. We don't really want our foundation rocked. So just be mindful of that. We're also going to become rather rebellious during this time. So we're going to be taking these risks. But what we have to do is we have to step back. It's like, am I taking this risk for me? Or am I taking this risk to rebel against what people said I can't do? Or to rebel this way or that way? So we're going to be really looking at that here. On the 18th of November, Mercury is going to be trine Neptune, which brings with it an alluring energy with this sense of making us more attractive, making us just kind of stand out and shine. And since we already have that aspect to us during this time, the 18th of November is going to be a really good day for us. Our imagination is on point, and we can really bring to life what we've been dreaming, what we've been creating within our own heads. Again, another great date night or another just great creative, inspirational day for us. On the 19th of November, Venus is trine Uranus. Again, this is going to be important because we're ruled by Uranus, so whenever it comes up, we're going to find that this day is more impactful on us than other days. We want to feel free, we want to feel unique, and we want to be social. This is a day to let down our hair. This is a day to go after what we desire. This is a day to kind of let nothing stop us, really kind of spread our wings and move forward. Also, on the 19th of November, we have the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, which there will be a separate video on. On the 20th of November, Mercury is going to be squared Jupiter, which brings with it a clear and open mind, but also has this lack of discipline that we have to be mindful of because we're going to be seeing everything so clearly. We're going to be pushing boundaries and looking at things in a new, fresh way. But we're also going to think, tomorrow, I can do this tomorrow. But the thing is that we won't be as inspired and we won't have the same insight as we do on the 21st, as we do on the 20th. Because on the 21st of November, we have Mercury sextile Pluto, which is a very serious time for all of us. We're taking everything very seriously, very, precisely, very much like it has to be done like this. So what we need to discover here is how to slow down and how to focus on our intuition. On the 27th of November, we have the third quarter moon in Virgo, which is going to actually have a rather big effect on us because what we're going to see here is that we're going to be looking at the fact that I am enough, that I am powerful, but the wall that we have, there's something here that's been blocking us and the walls are crumbling down, and we're going to kind of really be impacted by this around the 27th of November. Spirit is saying here the 23rd, so just be mindful of that. I don't know why that date is coming up, but just be mindful of the 27th of November where we could really feel like we have a breakthrough, but that breakthrough might actually make us a bit vulnerable, so be aware. On the 28th of November, the sun is conjunct Mercury, which is the best time for communication and important ideas start to come to the surface. What we have here also is this time of just really thinking, really being in our own heads. So what everybody does is everybody's having these great kind of like revelations and epiphanies and insights and ideas, but everybody's so busy in their own head that nobody's listening. So this is going to be a day where we can feel really frustrated because nobody's listening. Nobody's listening to us. But we're also going to have to realize that we're not going to be really inclined to listening to other people. So just be aware of this. And it can cause arguments. On the 29th of November, Mars is trine Neptune, which makes us suave and sexy and creative. We are passionate to fight for what we believe in, and we are really motivating and motivated by people and ourselves to step into the spiritual courage, to step into this power. Now, the 30th of November has a lot going on. The 30th of November first has Mercury sextile Saturn, which brings with it focus and the ability to see the bigger picture. We are astoundingly single-minded to reach our goals, to go after what it is that we want. We could even be a bit obsessive. So just be aware of this as we're moving forward. Now, also on the 30th of November, we have Venus sextile Neptune, which makes us passionate, romantic, and sensual. So this is kind of like the polar opposite energy of the Mercury sextile Saturn that's coming into play. Our relationships become astoundingly important to us, and we need to be around like-minded people. We're also highly creative. Then, also, on the 30th of November, we have the Sun sextile Saturn, which brings with it the sense of identity through leadership and finding and embracing our voice. The fact of the matter is that we're either going to fall into the Mercury sextile Saturn plant, or the Venus sextile Neptune camp, where we find ourselves either dedicated to our work, becoming a little bit obsessive with our ideas, with the way forward, with looking at the bigger picture, figuring everything out, or we want to be around family and friends and people of like mind, people who make us feel secure. We'll be passionate and creative, and it just depends on where we are at our lives and within our journey of ourselves, which camp we are really a part of. And then the Sun sextile Saturn will amplify that leadership role within that sense of expressing ourselves within that role that we have chosen or that we are drawn to. Now I just need to take a sip of water. All right. So here we have the Hermit. The Hermit is this Virgo energy coming forward, but we also have the boar right here. And there's an importance to the boar because in ancient medieval times, a boar hunt was a huge thing because the boar was one of the deadliest animals, like on the British Isles, that a lot of the medieval world knew. So the European medieval world knew. So what we're going to see here is that there's something that's guarding this light that's shining within us. There's something here that's kind of like, no, you can't pass, or kind of like we're tested. And then we find that as we face these fears, as we walk forward, as we embrace what we're being tested about, like what's coming up time and time again during this time frame, because we're going to feel like we run into the same wall, and it's in different places, it's in different ways. We're like, why am I running into this wall? Like, what is going on here? Why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel overwhelmed? What is it that's happening here that's keeping me from getting to where I need to be? But once we see it, once we see this sense of turning inward, seeing our beauty, seeing and understanding ourselves, embracing our truth and the fact that we matter, all of a sudden we start to step into who we are. And that's where the Hierophant really starts to take over. The Hierophant's like, this is your tradition. This is what you want from your life. This is your life purpose and your life goals. There can also be something very spiritual about this time. And you guys know me. I love the spiritual. I love the mystical about our existence. And there is this sense almost as walk back on the path that you had dedicated yourself to. Maybe even before coming down to this earth, maybe when we were very young. I don't know why I feel compelled to share this, but when I was 16 years old, I dedicated my life to the Virgin Mary. I'm Catholic, or, maybe a bit lax, but, I really thought, like, this is my purpose. This is my way forward. Now, be it I've been called to the tarot, I've been called to maybe an orthodox way of existing, but also I've been called to walk in her shadow. And there's going to be the sense of it here. It's like, where's the beauty of me? And what is it that I'm supposed to be? And am I owning this? Or have I lost track of the way I should be moving forward and the call of my heart and myself to what I desire? And why this tends to be more spiritual is that the Hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is represented by the Pope. And the Pope in the medieval world was the most powerful of all the people. Maybe you could argue the High Priestess and the Magician were more powerful, but as a sign of absolute authority, there was nobody higher. And so during this time, there's going to be this absolute authority within us that says, this is your path. This is your purpose. This is why you're here on this earth. Embrace it. And it moves us to kind of really standing in a powerful part of who we are and what we want from our lives, how we want to move forward. And it moves us to the Five of Pentacles. It moves us to this poverty mentality. Now, it can be around money, or it can be around what we value as much as money. But what I really do see it is that we've had financially difficult times. Things have been frustrating. There's been this gray kind of miasma that's been around everybody and everything. As we're moving forward, we're breaking out of it, yes, but there is this sense of kind of being stuck. There is this sense of chaos coming near. And what we need to look at here with the Five of Pentacles is, how is this playing into the poverty mentality that I was raised around, that entered into my life because of a partner, or because of financially difficult times, because of not getting a job, or because of being laid off of a job. How did this poverty come into my existence? And how is it molding me and shaping me as I'm moving forward? So that's going to be something very interesting here that we have to look at. Where did this come from? Where did the fear come from? Because there's something here where it's like, I can get this successful and then I'll start seeing myself slip. I can get this successful and I'll start seeing myself doubting. I will get this successful and maybe I'll stay here for a really long time, but I won't ever get to that next level where it is that I want to be. Now, for some of us, we can be quite contented in a level of security and stability and be like, okay, this is really good. But there is also the sense of being able to advance and embrace more. And it doesn't mean that we have bigger paychecks. It doesn't mean that we have bigger houses. It means that we enrich our lives through the light of the universe that comes in, through the inspiration that is a part of us, through the passion and the beauty that guides us. And what we're looking at here is, how am I being stopped? What is it that's holding me back? And why is it? Because I am supposed to be a king. I am supposed to embrace my prosperity, embrace my abundance, and move forward in wealth. Wealth that people notice. Now, it could be wealth of spirit, wealth of family, like richness of having our families close, wealth of friends. It could be however we're manifesting this wealth, but it is a beauty and a power and a brilliance within us that we are embracing and embarking on during this time. There is a sense here of, I am embracing my richness and I am being cloaked in it. I'm being absolutely, bedecked in wealth and opulence. So during this time, it doesn't mean that we have to be showy little peacocks and everybody running out that way, because that'd be a little bit silly. But what it is, it's knowing our worth. It's connecting with the path that maybe we had given ourselves to when we were younger and thought, oh, I need something. This sounds like a good idea. Or it could be this path that we thought, oh, I'm going to walk this. And then we realized, oh, I don't really like this. How is it that I'm supposed to progress forward within my life? Now we're starting to see the richness. We're starting to see gateways open. We're starting to see ideas come our way. And we have the Two of Swords, which is the sense of, I always thought that there were two distinct paths. That's what the Two of Swords says to us. I always thought there were two distinct paths. I walked one path or I walked the other. And what Spirit is saying here is that if we open up our hearts and not just live within our minds, but live in the power and the beauty of our hearts, we're going to see that there are more paths that are leading us forward than we could ever have imagined, that there is more to us than meets the eye, and that different gateways, different pathways open and guide us and lead us to something much greater than what we had thought of before. And it brings us to the King of Cups. The King of Cups within the heart, just like the King of Pentacles within our inner self, is really showing a sense of, I'm taking authority of this. I'm embracing this power and this opulence and this beauty. When it comes to the heart, I'm embracing the power and the opulence and the beauty of my emotions, of my heart, of what I desire for my life, of the passion and the inspiration that leads me forward. The King of Cups says, I rule only myself. And that might sound a bit arrogant, or that might sound like a cop-out, but in the end, we rule only ourselves. I sit there with my nephew, who's 2 years old and just the most stubborn person I have ever met in my life. And I can't get him to eat when he doesn't want to. It is a battle. We could sit there for 2 hours trying to eat lunch and it will be like, nope, not doing it. And so if we don't have control over 2-year-olds, if we can't make people do what we want them to do, what makes us think that we have control over anybody but who we are? We have control over how we handle the situation. We have control over, how we're responding to things. But we only have control over ourselves. And that's going to be a really powerful thing during this time, because it's like, I'm living by example. I'm living by passion and insight and idea and creativity and distinction and determination forward. I'm living within my own heart, surrounded by my heart chakra, surrounded by my brilliance of self and my love for what I desire within my life and my love for my life. The chaos of the world, it comes and it flows and it is around us, but it isn't consuming us. And that's really important, because the Nine of Cups is good fortune. The Nine of Cups is saying here that wishes come true, that beauty comes in. This is the minor arcana. Well, actually, this is the minor arcana star card, the minor arcana wish card. So this is us within the minor arcana, because we're represented by the star in the major arcana. And there is this real sense here of beauty. There's this real sense of connection. There's this real sense of what I wish for is coming forward. But it's not the cross the fingers wish, though the Nine of Cups does kind of correlate more with the cross the fingers wish. It is the deep-seated wish within our soul. It is the power and purpose of the brilliance of ourselves. And it is the sense of there is something shining within me that gets to come forward. Other people are going to be so much more able to see this than we are. It does not mean that it does not exist. What it means is that it might be a little bit harder for us to see and for us to understand. It moves us then to judgment. In the public arena, we feel kind of put in a box. We might feel a little bit bored with our lives as they are. We might feel a little bit restless. The judgment comes in, and there's a call here that's telling us to rise, that's telling us to move forward, that's telling us to look at things in a different way, to go after something more, to go after something in a kind of brazen, boldened, determined way. We're finding that we're rising out of the box. We're rising out of the hurt and the pain, and we are embracing forgiving ourselves. We are embracing forgiving the world for being such a harsh place, and we're finding the power of us as we stand in it. There's going to be a call in the public arena. Now, it can be that we actually hear something on the radio or television or someplace where it's like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of this time. And we're being told, okay, embrace that emotion, like go deeper into that. But it's something here that takes us out of the world that we're in right now and puts us into ourselves and puts us into our memory, puts us into our mind, puts us into what we desire and what we want to create. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is the star, which is ourselves. We need to be mindful during this time, Aquarius, of getting in our own way and tripping ourselves up. Because there's going to be the sense of talking ourselves out of what we wish for, saying, oh, I'm not ready yet, and Spirit saying here, oh, yes, you are. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra self, which is communication. This is the third eye chakra. No, this isn't the third eye chakra. This is the third chakra. And this is a sense of communication. Communicating as an air sign is just absolutely important. We need to communicate, we need to see, we need to embrace, we need to listen, which is going to be really big, especially on the 28th of November. We're going to need to embrace our voice and listen to our inner power, because communication isn't just what we have to say and having others follow us. It's also connecting with what our body is telling us, with what our soul is telling us, and how we progress forward and how we embrace what we desire. It moves us then to our subconscious rooted self, which is the devil, Capricorn energy. Now, we're born on the cusp with Capricorn. This is going to be coming out very powerfully. But now, oh my goodness, we have all the earth sign energy coming forward. And so at our root, we need to be grounded. We need to be grounded in ourselves and what we desire, in the breaking down of barriers and doorways and things that have kept us locked or held back before. And what we're going to see here is that we're starting to look at what once terrified us and say, that's not that scary. That's not that scary. Subconsciously, we're looking at things and saying, what if I push that envelope? What if I step through that barrier? What if I take that risk? And there's going to be a part of us that says, I just need to be free. I just need to be free. I just need to, embrace. I just need to go after. And so here, during this time, there is this real sense of, I need to spread my wings and fly. And I need to release all the chains that have been holding me back. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Ace of Wands. And this is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of passion, creativity, innovation, invention, really stoking our fires and moving us in a direction that we might have thought we could never go in. This is a gift that might not be as easy for us to take as if it was, a gift of pentacles, because we have the King of Pentacles here holding that within his hands. But it is a gift that we are absolutely drawn to. There is something about this time inwardly that we need to have the fire and the passion rekindled within our lives. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the Five of Cups. And what Spirit is saying here is change your mind, change your life. Instead of looking at all the heartbreak and the pain and the disappointment, instead of looking at everything that didn't happen, let us turn around. Let us look at the passion and the insight and the unity and the beauty that is the Two of Cups. Let us look at the Minor Arcana Lovers card that stands behind us, that has our back and is guiding us. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Queen of Pentacles. We have this soulmate connection coming forward. We also have this beautiful connection with all the earth sign energy to say, I am prosperous, I am bountiful, and I am joyous. I am celebrating and achieving and breaking barriers and going after what I need. And as I do so, there is an aura of wealth around us. As we do so, there is this sense of success and prosperity. And what Spirit is saying here is walk gently, walk kindly, but remember your worth. And remember the seeds that you have been planting within yourself, what you have been growing and nurturing to inspire and to move you forward. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.